everybody, thanks for watching. This is Andrew from Schnauzer Face Minis, and today is a very special video for me. Today, April 3rd, is my 1-year YouTube anniversary, and I wanted to take a second to say thank you to everybody out there who has supported me, encouraged me, and helped me along the way. When I first started a year ago, I had no idea what I was doing, and I didn't expect anybody to watch. But this community has been so generous and supportive and helpful and encouraging, and you guys have all helped me in different ways to build a channel that I am really proud of. So thank you all for, one, helping me become a better painter. I'm much happier with where I am today than I was a year ago, and that's no doubt due to all of your helpful comments and your constructive criticisms and all of your techniques that you guys have shared with me. And I also feel like over the last year, I've grown a lot as a YouTube video maker, and I can't even go back and watch my first videos. They are so bad. But I have to say that you guys have helped me along so much. I've talked with a lot of you guys about how I can improve the video and audio in my videos. We've talked about techniques and equipment, that kind of stuff. So thank you guys for that. And I feel like being a part of the YouTube community has helped me grow in a lot of other ways as well. One big thing that I've learned over the last year has been how to take the rude comments, the haters, and extract the useful information, learn from them, and not take their comments too personally. So even if you've left a negative comment and said something that you probably were trying to hurt my feelings, I've actually learned from that, so I appreciate that too. So this has been a great first year on YouTube, and I want to just take this time to say thank you to everybody who has encouraged me and supported me and who has helped make this such a rewarding experience. And I can't wait to see where we are this time next year. And as long as you guys keep watching the videos, I will keep making them. So thank you guys so much for everything. And let's just go ahead and get to today's tutorial. Today I'm painting an Exorcist Terminator, including this cool shoulder pad I got from Chapter House Studios. You guys may know Chapter House Studios as one of the 4,000 companies that Games Workshop is currently suing. This is my first painting tutorial in about 2 months, and I'm sorry for the hiatus. I think I just needed some time away from the hobby. I wasn't exactly suffering from painter's burnout, because at the beginning I was really excited and motivated to paint, but I kept getting discouraged because everything I painted looked terrible. I threw at least 5 or 6 half-finished models into Simple Green because nothing looked salvageable. After that, I lost my confidence, and the thought of painting just made me feel really anxious. So I took a few weeks away before trying again. The good news is I'm enjoying the hobby again, but I'm still not happy with anything I'm painting. And if I'm being honest, that includes the model in the video you're watching right now. I wonder if anyone else out there has had this same problem before. I feel like my painting regressed by about a year almost overnight, and I'm still not sure how to shake that feeling. So any suggestions, tips, or personal anecdotes would be most appreciated. When I paint red, the model usually veers toward orange more than I'd like. I could hit it with a thin glaze of paint, but that could flatten the contrast if I'm not careful. But the ghost tint is transparent enough that it can shift the colors back toward red without losing the shades and highlights underneath. Ghost tints do take a little finesse, but they're pretty handy. For the shoulder pads, I highlighted with Nautilus Blue and Spellslinger Blue. Blue works great as a highlight for black, and it's more visually interesting than gray or white. and since this model is red, the blues are a nice contrast against the rest of the armor. This is a pretty straightforward tutorial, so rather than bore you with repeat information, I'll take this time to answer a few questions I've been asked a lot recently. Many people have asked if it's okay to varnish using an airbrush. Not only is it okay, but not having to worry about the weather when priming and varnishing is one of the airbrush's biggest selling points, at least in my opinion. When spraying matte or gloss varnish, I really don't do anything out of the ordinary. Typically, I'll leave the PSI at my usual setting, which is somewhere between 18 and 22. But be sure to be light on the trigger. Short, controlled bursts are best to keep the varnish from pooling in the recesses. I've used Liquitex and Minotaur varnishes without any trouble. Also, I use a 0.15mm needle, so if varnish can pass through that, then it should be able to pass through anything. And I never add any thinner. In fact, the Liquitex bottle says specifically not to thin it, and it works great just straight out of the bottle. Finally, I recommend using isopropyl alcohol to clean the airbrush. As long as I clean before the varnish dries, there won't be any problem. I've also had a recent influx of questions about drying retarders, and I think that's probably because more and more people are getting into airbrushing, and drying retarders are the best way I've found to reduce or even eliminate tip dry. I've only ever used Liquitex Slow Dry, and that works great for me. But I imagine all drying retarders probably work about the same. I like Slow Dry because it's affordable, it's easy to get where I live, and I got it in an enormous bottle that will last forever. If anyone out there has had good or bad experiences with other drying retarders, please share in the comments. Finally, I've had a lot of people ask about substitutes for the Minotaur Ghost Tints. Those have been really hot on YouTube recently, and they've piqued a lot of interest, I can tell. I don't know exactly what the Ghost Tints are made of, but I can say they work similarly to pre-thinned inks. They're transparent, so they'll tint or shift or saturate the underlying colors without covering them. So if you can't find the ghost tints where you live, or you don't use an airbrush, I've always been able to get similar results using really thin inks, or even thinned down GW washes. All of them achieve the same goal as far as I can tell. This was my first experience using watercolor washes. Overall, they worked out pretty well. The wash didn't seem to run into the recesses quite as well as with the oils, but there are still a lot of benefits. Not having to use oil thinners is a big advantage for me. And the watercolor is still just as easy to clean up as the oils. Distilled water on a Q-tip does the trick. And without harsh thinners, there's no concern about stripping paint off the model. With that in mind, you may be able to skip the gloss varnish before the wash. So for display models, I may skip the varnishing process altogether. True, the model will be less protected, but not having to varnish over the metallics means they'll keep their luster. So in the end, oils do work slightly better, but watercolor's benefits might be worth the minor dip in quality. And once the lenses are done, I give the model a really simple base, and that should just about do it. Thank you guys so much for sticking with me over the past year. This has been such a great experience, and I am so excited about all the great experiences to come. So be good to each other, and thanks for watching.